On the back, on your back. And new climbers, they tend to always come an obstacle forward, which is why I'm training you today. We're always coming at that backwards. Always coming at this wide stance, butt out, got this wide angle here. The reason for this too, so say you're coming at it forward, you get thrown, you have no chance of recovering yourself. You're just rolling. If you fall in this position, you have chances to grab things and re-secure your footwear. There are shorter obstacles where obviously the grades changed a little bit. That's fine coming out forward. But when you're on the chunkier stuff, or you're worried about falling, always down climb it backwards. It's better on the mind that way. It lets you actually focus on your foot placement versus just kind of blindly placing. Or if you go to heel in and you climb forward, you slip out of it. Earlier about always check and hold, especially here where we have contact all around us, making sure there's not a climber ahead of us. The ones coming in behind us, when it's a narrow gully like this, we'll usually have them wait until one person's out, and then one by one. Some of the other chimneys get a little wider, so you can stagger people in there and not worry about rock fall on other climbers. Anytime you move a rock, low grade, steep grade, call out rock, just let someone know something's moving. Yeah, for this mountain, it's definitely a protocol if you don't really know what you're getting into. I haven't had any bad experiences on this one yet. I've pulled quite a few people off. I've rescued a group that was, they were newlyweds up here. They were way down, shelved out down here. And I had to climb down. I was coming up the ridge, I could see them off route. I got to above them where they should have been to me, and they weren't there yet, so I was like, alright, something's going on. So I ended up having to down climb to their party of 4 and bring them up one by one. And like each person, I had to like put their hand where it needed to be, put their foot where it needed to be.
Right.
And then I think this was my last trip up here. Had 2 kids. They thought they were going for the traverse, grazing Torreys traverse. So they saw this and started up this, and I turned them around. Actually, I think it was one of the 2 the chutes here, and you could tell like one guy had a big fat stick he found. He was using it as a trekking pole, so I helped them down climb.
Like that's not it.
And then the only other bad experience, it wasn't necessarily to her capability. It was just more of altitude got to her, and she had just gotten the COVID shot, so she was all lagged out. That was capital. And that was where it took 12 hours just to get from the lake back to the lake.
Which lake? You mean, one lake?
Yeah, capital. Yeah, so the round 12 hours for like 8 miles and change. You guys are fine, like right along this edge, and I'll address you.
Oh, you're going up there.
Which one?
So this area does have a bypass. It's this.
Yeah.
So you can go up that way. But you know, we're here learning skill sets, so we don't want to take bypasses necessarily. So we're going to go up this little chute. This has a few workarounds. With the camera pull,
Yeah.
you can work the red, this crown.
Okay.
That way you have foot hand work on both sides.
Okay.
For people with their packs, I'll kind of show that route. The same thing like I did on the other side. I'm going to go up to this little stop, and I'll catch everyone coming in. Since this is a longer rock wall line here, we'll have people stay off to the side until that person's up and over. And same thing, knock a rock, yell rock. Especially on this stuff, like you'll see, I call them like loose teeth basically. Before you put your weight in there, double check it. So like even that one, are you moving? So always check those. Same thing with that footwork when you're doing it. Like just kick it, look for its nearest track, make sure it's not wiggling on you before you commit to that. So I'll pick it up to this little shelf and have everybody come start moving in one by one.
Okay.
Any questions?
Nope.
Same thing. For chimneys, again, if you want to do a little bit, you just look forward. You have everything around you to work with.
Wider. Okay.
further route finding issues if you're trying to avoid it. If you can get stable on it, that's usually your trick. You chunkier stuff, kind of go from cleat to cleat doing that extension. If you do fall on this stuff, you're going wide stance, playing yourself out, and you're going for just one leg because you don't want to get too much momentum for it. You want to have that upper leg braking. So you're on the side like this, and you're working that heel in, not your toes so much. And then this upper foot is your toe. This is your recovery stance when you're sliding down this. That gives you the ability to stand up and recover versus just going.
That's super helpful to see. Yeah. marks here.
Well, this is the winter route. You go around that corner. That's the standard route, but it takes you like this shitty little tiny lead here. More engaging. During the winter, I like to do like Deer Creek Canyon in the Front Range is a good training. It's just over by Chatfield State Park, and then the incline is another really good one. So you can go up the incline and you can trail run down the bar.
Yeah. The other peaks are good too, like that.
Yep.
I do that one like most once.
You ever want a good lake? Come up and do that 13er, Kelso. And it's just up that green meadow all the way up under a walking.
Oh, so that's Kelso.
Yep, that's Kelso Mountain, that 13er.
Oh.
There's a geocache up there and a little wind shelter crown.
Cool.
That's a lake burn. Like of all the mountains I did that. Next morning I went to get out of bed and I was like, oh!
What do you do? You just follow like the
just grass tundra walking all the way up. But
you go to Strato.
no, it's just easy walking all the way up. No technical. You can do the ridge if you want, but just they pack the.
What's the ridge and straddle?
So the straddle will be like when you're on the outcropping of rock and you're straddling over the top of it, and that's still on a ridge. Yep.
I know this is a ridge. This is a ridge. This is not a straddle.
No.
Somebody help me with the board.
So saddle is the lowest of elevation. This one is, that's what down there is, that's your lowest point from too. It's a saddle, a gully, and a couloir. Get out a couloir right here. What constitutes that is you have high elevation on both sides, and it peaks out on a predominant ridge or summit, and it holds snow later in the season.
Yeah, I saw some people coming down. That's great.
And this is one that when I this spring, late winter, I'll teach people couloir climbing right here. And we'll come up this to the top. Yep, climb up this, and then REI that rents all that gear. You can get a day rental gear, get up covered for $10.
Oh wow.
They do the mountaineering boots, crampons, and all that.
Oh, they do the mountaineering boots.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he did.
So we're going to get stuff on top of this crown where the nice ritual starts, and that's where I'll kind of cover what we're doing, postures and all that. not like dead center, kind of rest off to the sides, so you have a good leg up. This avoids, for the most part, cramping up high. We're doing this, and we're just kind of crawling like this across, working this footwork. So we have this range of motion here. We're keeping that shoe that's on the incline side, we're keeping it flat, maximizing your surface area, and we're kind of creeping along. There's a few parts where the rock kind of comes down and up in that instance. No, I'm just illustrating what you guys are going this way. So creeping along like this, moving forward, as long as we have stability down here. A lot of people, they'll be so bottlenecked up here like this, and they'll lean and lose balance.
Yeah.
So we're keeping low straddle. It is awkward that this knife is super short compared to the capital. So we're keeping this nice wide stance like this, off kilter to one side just a little bit. So obviously here, if you panic, boom, I'm not going anywhere. Versus people sidestepping, their toe heel grip can get polished where it just starts slipping on them, and then they're in an instance where they have to pull up, or they put that fall weight on one of these loose teeth. Bad situation. So in this, it's always better to just straddle. So if you need to stop, boom, and then an instant rest of it. I can gather myself, I can get my bearings.
Straddle, but like time.
Yep, just slightly. So your hip is still locked over. That way, even if your hand's free, you're locked, you're not going anywhere. And you'll see spots where, as you're moving forward, there's little toe cleats and footwork to not have such a wide straddle line. So what I'll do is I'm going to come up across here, I'll get halfway, I'll get you guys coming to me from there, have you stop, and then I'll move up to the white rock before you guys come out. Again, anyone questions or wants help with obstacles, I'll come back to you and help you do it. You'll see there's a wide transition, so if you are feeling cramped, stop a minute, gather yourself, and then don't do what I'm doing. So those that want that really good white picture that shows the full valley, come right up here, walk up on top of this piece, and I'll stand right here and get your picture.
Are you gonna here?
Who's first?
And then I'll put them all into that group chat. Sawtooth traverse,
Yeah.
That's what we were gonna.
and then to practice on to get more confident in the down climbing, do West Ridge Quandary, because that allows you to go up and down those little pillars, practicing down climbing, while technically still gaining the summit without having to do the backtrack. And depending on comfort level, you can go down standard from there. Currently, there is a loophole with that, even with their parking issues they're facing. If you're doing the Class 3 route, you can park at Blue Lakes, which is the back end of that reservoir there.
Yeah,
So you don't have to go through all the permit garbage.
Right.
I was wondering if there was a
Did you walk down to the trailhead?
Yeah, the disadvantage, so there's a few ways you can do it. Technically, you're supposed to go for the Class 3 route, you go down Monte Cristo Boulevard base, which is kind of the street. That brings you right to the dirt road by the trailhead. If you take standard down, that lot in that whole camp area is pretty popular, but you can get a good hitchhike up there. Otherwise, you're walking that like 2 miles of dirt road.
Do you think that like the instructions?
That one's not terrible on route finding. There is a plaque at the bottom showing where you use. Like I'd recommend like a GPS.
Right.
Just as an extra precaution. Once you're on the ridges though, what's great about that is it's kind of create your own class. You don't have to stick to a set route. There are a few pairings in the like super sketch part, but that's what's great about it is you can mix and match whatever you want. Just like in some of the spots I took you on today here, we got onto some stuff that was a little more exposed. And we're starting to fly passes. I would just do GPX off of like 14 inches of 34 and one rack and throw that into the GPX and alltrails and take that file too.
Okay.
Those are the good natural evolutions from here.
But there's no such thing as like route finder. There's no like app that I'm missing out on.
Nope.
Yeah, I was like, I
No,
never
it's just
had
kind
one.
of, and even that, like, it depends on how detailed the GPX file is. Some of them are like every 200 yards, and it varies in some hard to see.
We usually use a hiking project for this.
Just watch it.
That's that blue dot.
Oh. I am, so I'm waiting for one more to get back. So I have 2 more groups of Capital. I have one September 10th and 11th, and then I have 23rd and 24th. It's free to take more Capital. Yep, at the lake. So usually I try to get up on a weekday. My groups usually drive up Thursday morning, get a trailhead, make that 7 miles into the lake. And then you have that whole afternoon to just unwind and actually enjoy the great scenery. And then the next morning, we'll get well into the Talus fields, dark. Then coming up just below K2 there for sunrise. And then we can leave tent set up, come back down, pack a camp, go soak in the lake, and then straight out from there. So you know, I have like so working back to the drop. I'll see what I can do. Okay. I have taken as many as like 6 to 7. It's just that makes it a longer day, just because there's so much LRT.
Do you think that like someone like, I mean for me I've only been 7
It's not long term. It's not really. Like, I don't view it as necessarily how many you've done before you can do that. It is your confidence. Your yes. Yep. Exactly. Now, like if you, especially if you're going with someone that's exciting too. The only like the beginners still see people that like see photos. I think they're con for that. Capital is really heavy for route finding, especially if you're trying to book weather. You have to get in early. You have to get in this giant cloud. So it's dark. It's kind of, that can take a lot of time. If you run them late season, like I've done it as late as September 30th, weather, and you can take your time. You can start with the late sunrise.
Is it getting bigger or not necessarily?
Just paying attention to it. Yeah, it's September. Yeah, just because it's not set, and it makes all that talus field and everything just night like ice skate. It's not as complicated on the knife edge itself. The mess is already there. Yep. It's going to stay close, especially after that gust.